Good afternoon and good evening to everyone who have joined this event today from different locations. So, my name is Kapil Talreja. I am the host as well as the speaker for today's session, and we are today here for the session on how to grow your practice in Dubai, UAE, right? So, guys, first of all, I just want to know from you, those who have joined now. So, let me first enable the chat box so that we can see whosoever has joined. Uh, hmm. Okay, perfect. Guys, uh, can you listen to me? Is my voice audible? Is my screen visible? Can you please comment in the YouTube comment box? Anyone in the team can please share the comment whether the voice is audible, whether the screen is audible, whether the screen is visible. Please share the comments in the comment box to help us to know. Ajay has mentioned yes. Mr. Ram has mentioned yes. Perfect, perfect. Okay, okay, guys. Thank you so much. I assume that both the things are properly available for you. The voice is visible, the voice is audible as well as the screen is visible. Now, coming to the basic thinking for which we are here today. Everyone has the simple question in the mind: is it really possible to start outsourcing practice in Dubai? Is it really possible to start practice, not only the outsourcing practice, but the routine practice as well in Dubai? How can we get the work from Dubai? These are the simple questions that might be popping out in your mind right now. So basically, it depends on various factors, and we will be discussing all the factors in this session. And there are majorly four factors that you need to work on. One is the UAE market. You need to understand the UAE market. You need to work on the supplier side. You need to work on the knowledge side as well as on the customer side as well. Right. So, just out of curiosity, I'm asking you one question. May I know from which cities have you logged in? I'm just, if you can just mention your city name. Uh, from where have you tried to log in? From where are you trying to see this session? Please put in the comment box, please. I just want to know from which different locations the professionals have joined today. Like you can see, I have mentioned Ahmedabad, Chennai, Surat, wow, Noida, great, great, Delhi, great, superb, Bhubaneswar, Bangalore, where, wow. So we are having the audience from north to south, from east to west. Great, great, great. Okay, perfect, perfect. Now, coming to the main point, we want to become a global firm, right? If you are planning to open a company in UAE, if you're planning to start outsourcing practice for UAE by sitting in India, you are ideally planning to be a global firm. Do you know which are the global accounting firms and which are the global tax firms right now in India? Right now, not only in India, but particularly everywhere. Uh, if you can name few of the things in the comment box, global accounting firm and global taxation firm. What kind of name comes into your mind when you think about the global tax firm or global accounting firm? If I name one of them is KPMG, right? Guys, we are already moving ahead. I'm thankful that you have mentioned your city's name. Now, please, can you please answer to the simple question? What kind of firm name comes into your mind when we talk about the global tax firm or the global accountancy firm? PwC, ENY, KPMG, Deloitte. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Any other name apart from these three or four? KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, ENY, right? So I believe there are very few firms which comes to not only in your mind but also into the customer's mind when we see about the Mr. Tarun has mentioned Talreja and Talreja. Thank you so much for the compliment. But thank you so much, Tarunji, for the compliment. Yeah, Grand Thandan. Okay. So basically, there are very few firms in the entire global level who are working as a global tax firm, as a global accountancy firm. And when your client, when he will be trying to go for the cross-border transactions, or if he plans to open a company outside India, right? At that time, I believe he will be thinking about some of such kind of entities like KPMG, Deloitte, ENY, PwC, etc. Even though he might come to you, but he will be coming to you for the consultation to whom should he approach if he's planning to go to a global tech firm, or if he's planning to set up his business in the global level, if he's planning to set up his company in US, UK, Dubai. I mean, we can name any of the countries. Indians are at every, I mean, I can say Indians are everywhere in the world. So they are trying to reach each and every corner of the world. So the question can come from your client for any kind of city, country, I can say. Some of people might be planning to open a company in Mauritius. Some of people might be planning to open a company in Singapore. There are various reasons why they prefer to go for Singapore, Mauritius, Dubai, US, UK, right? So when he will ask you this question, I believe he will be having this kind of, he will be having some thing in mind that you are a domestic player and you are not the international player, and you will help them to guide to whom should he refer for this kind of things, right? He will not be thinking that you are a kind of global tax firm or you are a kind of global accountancy firm to whom he needs to consult for this. Am I right? So you need to prepare yourself as a global brand when you're planning to sell in the international market. Not only you need to focus on the selling part, but apart from that, you need to also focus on your branding. Things doesn't come up automatically. You need to work on your branding as well. We people as a professional are lacking in this point of, I mean, I can say that we are lacking in this kind of concept. We do have the knowledge, we do have the connects, we do have the supplier side knowledge, but we don't know how to get the customers. Many of us, we don't know how to get the customers in this digital era. Many of us don't know how to do branding of our services or how to do the branding of our firm, so that the customer tries to reach us even if he doesn't want to search us on Google or through any kind of other professionals, right? So he should have the name in his mind like KPMG, Deloitte, etc. At least not on the particular level, but at least for some continents. Like if we are here, then Talreja is here for the Gulf countries, right? Many of the people now are aware in India that we are doing it for the Gulf countries. We have a strong presence in Gulf countries. So how has that been possible? Because we are creating a visibility of our firm. We are creating a brand along with selling our services. So you need to also focus on this part along with knowledge and all these things. Now, let me put off the comments section and we shall start straightforward with the main technical part. So, what are we going to learn in today's session? The first, we will be understanding the basics of UAE market. Then we will be going to the list of services that you can offer to the customers and entities in UAE. Apart from this, then we will go to the main section. How should we begin, and what are the options available with us for doing practice in UAE? How can we gain the knowledge and experience? How should we how will we able to get the customers? Even though if we have the knowledge, if we even if we have opened the office, then the major concern is about the customers, how to get the customers. And the last part, that is the additional bonus part, that will be how to do networking, marketing and branding of your services. If you're planning to become a global player, then you need to do all these things as well along with selling your services. So to begin with, what is the UAE market? I mean, if we talk about the UAE market, then UAE, I believe all of you are aware the full form of UAE, United Arab Emirates. It has seven emirates. It has seven states, I can say. So these all seven states combinedly make UAE, right? I will also name the list. I mean, also name the states name. That is, first one is Dubai. Everyone knows. Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ajman, Fujairah, Quain, and Russell Khimah. So these are the seven states which combinedly make UAE. And generally, who is the president and who is the prime minister in UAE? So generally, the Sheikh, the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi, the King of Abu Dhabi is generally the president of UAE, and the Sheikh of Dubai is generally the prime minister of UAE, right? If we talk about the audience, if we talk about the population there, then majority of people are from outside UAE, like from Asia, US, UK, Europe. I mean, you can name any of the continents. Everyone is having a part in UAE. Majority of them are from Asia and then from other countries and continents. If we talk about the investment side, then in investment in properties and business wise, developed nations like UK and USA are on the top, and India is also on the top in the investment concept. India is on the third number when we go with the investment we bought in cash in Dubai. It is legally allowable. So I hope you can correlate why India is on the number three, is in the top three when we go with the investment in properties in UAE, right? So if we talk further about UAE, then majority of the working people are residing on rent there. As the major thing is that UAE doesn't give citizenship. UAE provides the visa schemes from 2 years to 10 years. So if you are looking to be a citizen of UAE, it will not be possible. There are very high kind of restrictions on this part. Ideally, you can take the residence visa from 2 years to 10 years, and you can keep renewing it as per your requirement, right? And recently, as I mentioned about the 10 years, recently they have started since last 2 years about the golden visa, which is correlated with the investment in properties and investment, and high skilled professionals are eligible for this kind of visas. So this is one of the reason, as we are not getting the citizenship, so this is one of the reason why majority of the job people and business people reside on rent there, and they don't prefer to go and purchase the properties. This is also one of the reason because they have some security concerns as well. Like if any of the country uh, in future doesn't have good relations with UAE, then the UAE might cancel the visas of the persons of that country who are residing in UAE. It has happened before with Pakistan, when Imran Khan was the prime minister or president of Pakistan. At that time, the Pakistan and UAE relations were spoiled, and due to that, UAE had stopped visa issuance of the people who are coming from Pakistan, and those who were already there in Pakistan, those who were already there in UAE, they were not renewing. The UAE government was not renewing the visas of that particular country, right? So that's some of the reasons why many of the people are residing on rent there, and they don't go for the investment kind of things. Of course, if I say about the job people, then the job people are getting the employment visa allotted by their employers, and is generally of 2 years visa. And all the business people generally get the business visa that is of 2 years visa, right? If we talk about the ways of communication and commuting, so internet is very costly there. There is no unlimited data package like we have in India. So if we talk about India, we generally keep the data on for 24 hours because we have the unlimited data kind of things, and it's very cheaper if we compare with the other countries. So people residing there don't keep the data on for the full day. They use it for limited time, and WhatsApp calling is not allowed there. You can use the botting or such kind of apps which are allowed through UAE. Generally, mailing, and these are the reasons because for that's the reason why people residing there prefer for mailing and the normal calling. Transportation is again time consuming and very costly there. In Dubai, there is a metro connection, of course, but in other Emirates, there is no such option. So generally, you need to use the cab or bus facility if if you are regularly traveling between Sharjah to Dubai. Generally, people do such kind of things that they try to live in Sharjah or in any other emirate because the rental cost is very less as compared to Dubai. So people generally reside in Sharjah and they daily travel to Dubai for the job purpose. So ideally, the day starts very early in that case. I mean, kids and people leave at 5:30 or 6 a.m. also to avoid the traffic scenarios. Fine. If we talk about the next, let me put on the chart in front of you, so you will be able to understand what I was saying when we come to the population side. So if you can see the chart, then mm, the local population, citizenship wise population is only 11.48 percentage, and the expat population, the people who are coming from outside, it's almost 90 percentage. So 90% public are coming from outside UAE to reside there. And if we talk about emirate wise, then Dubai, and majority of the people are residing in Dubai, and then in Sharjah and Abu Dhabi, and after that in Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah, and Fujairah. Because Sharjah and Abu Dhabi are nearby Dubai, so that's why you will see that these are the three emirates which has the highest number of residents, right? One more thing that I would like to share is, as you are going to be, if you are planning to start a practice, being an Indian professional, then experts who have started their entity in Dubai, right? I'm talking about the Indian residents who have started their business in Dubai or who have started their company in Dubai. So they will need services for UAE as well as for the home country, that is for India, in case of Indian citizens. So it's a kind of double bonus for you as a consultant if you can provide services for both countries to him. Like if I say about the what kind of services he will require when he opens a company in UAE from the Indian perspective, then ideally the FEMA laws come into the picture, ODA transactions come into the picture, so international taxation comes into the picture, tax planning comes into the picture, structuring ideation comes into the picture. So these are various opportunities that you get once if you're planning to open a company, if you're planning to set up a unit, or if you're planning to start a practice in UAE, and if you have any of the customers who are looking to set up their unit in UAE, you will also get the opportunity to increase your scope of services from Indian perspective, right? So I will explain in detail when we'll go with the list of services. It's in next slide. So I will also give you a brief about the kind of services as I mentioned right now. If we talk about, as we can see the chart, there are people coming from outside UAE. So that's the reason the VAT returns and the compliances that are to be done, it has been kept very dynamic. How dynamic? So if I talk about the VAT returns, so ideally it's the quarterly return, but the quarter, what should be the quarter period? Ideally it's 3 months, like Jan to March, but the residents there have been given the option to choose the 3 months criteria. Like I can choose from Feb to April as a first quarter for me. I can also choose March to May, March, April, May. I can also choose March to May as my first quarter. I can also choose April to June as my first quarter. So these are the kind of flexibilities they have given to the residents there, because people are coming there from different countries. So they have the different financial years. So accordingly, UAE doesn't want to keep a fixed financial year that this is the period you have to follow. Like in India, if I talk about, we have the fixed financial year that is April to March, and if we talk about US or UK, it's from January to December. UI has kept it on the residents whether you want to follow the period from January to December, or you want to keep the period from April to March as your financial year, or you can also keep July to June as per your requirements. They have kept the option free for you, right? So this is how, I mean, the financial year and the quarterly returns depends on your choice. So if we talk about the dynamic, I mean, if we talk about the kind of customers that we get from there, so ideally, if I talk from the Indian level, generally we have the customers from the same industry, majority of the customers. If I talk about, let's say, if I talk about from the GST point of view, so I might be having the customers from the, I might be having majority of the customers from the garment or from the auto sector or from the banking sector. But in UAE, each and every customer is different. Each and every customer is from different country, and they have their different business requirements, right? So that there are dynamic industries through which you have to work on. I mean, you can say like you will be working with kind of customers that will be having dynamic industries. It will not be like that. Okay, the one customer is coming from the garment industry, the second customer or third customer will also come from the garment industry. Each and every customer that you will be facing there, he will be from the different industry, right? As I mentioned, day starts early there. Government offices open from between 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And ideally in UAE, if I talk about Dubai, so then in Dubai there are 2 days off, while in Sharjah and Ras Al Khaimah there are 3 days off, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is how the UAE market is, right? Now, if we talk about the major point, the list of services that you can provide. If we talk about the list of services, the first scope of services is related to the direct UAE market, that is VAT, corporate tax, ESR, AML, and assessment. These are the compliance services that you can provide to the UAE customers. UAE customer means who has already a company in UAE. So these are the compliance services that you can provide to the UAE customers. And I will also share with you the fees of all these things so that you can get the idea how much do you earn by just fulfilling the compliance by just providing the compliance services. So if I talk about the corporate tax registrations, it has started from this year itself. The corporate tax registration we generally charge AED 750 to AED 1500 for single corporate tax registration. So it depends also on you. If you wish to charge a bit lower from this, you can do it. But ideally, these are the rates that are going on in UAE for the time being. That is from AED 750 to AED 1500. That is the corporate tax registration charges. So you can just assume that if I talk in the INR, so it comes between 15,000 to 30,000 INR just for the single corporate tax registration. Similarly, if I talk about the VAT registrations, the VAT registration, VAT number registration is also with the same facility, that is from AD 750 to AD 1500. And if we talk about the VAT returns filing, so ideally it starts with 750 AD. These are the quarterly returns that are required to be filed. But again, these are the minimum charges that are going on in UAE. Of course, there may be some people who might be charging lesser than this, but majority of the people are charging. Majority of good professionals, I can say, good consultancy firms, good professionals who wish to earn a good kind of who just don't want to go into the bargaining kind of thing. So they generally earn this much amount by corporate tax registrations, VAT registrations, and by VAT returns filing. These are the minimum charges that I have mentioned. Apart from this, you can also go into the bookkeeping services. Bookkeeping now will be a kind of thing that will be required for all the business units because corporate tax is now applicable. So from next year, corporate tax returns filing will start. So accordingly, the demand for bookkeeping services will also become, I can say that bookkeeping services demand will be higher as compared to the previous years. We have seen there have been no bookkeeping requirements till now. Even if I talk about the VAT period, the people there are not that much serious. But now, as we are going for the next, that is direct taxation, so bookkeeping services will be playing one of the major roles in your revenue addition. Apart from this, if we talk about if we talk about the audit part, then in audit part, there the internal audit is having a good stream. I mean, you can earn good amount of money from the internal audit, it's one of the promising and the high earning revenue stream if you are physically available in UAE. Of course, that internal audits is it's available physical. I mean, you can only provide these services related to internal audit only if you are physically available in UAE. There are many big businesses who are not compliant and are lazy in bookkeeping and maintaining the records. So at the end, when they are stuck, they call for a good consultant for doing the internal audit. And if I talk about the internal audit charges, then per internal audit customer, you can get a good revenue. Charges depends on time and the number of visits you are planning to do in a week or in a month. Let's say if I plan to keep a two visits a week, then you might be charging 83,000 to 5,000 per month. However, if you are planning to go for a three visits a week for internal audit, then you can increase your fees accordingly. But these are the minimum fees that are going on. That is 83,000 or 5,000 per month if you are keeping two visits a week. People charge uh, on the higher side as well. It's not that these are the fixed figures. It depends on as I mentioned, it depends on the time that you are going to provide. It depends on the kind of work that you are going to do there. So again, these are the approximate figures which I have given you. You will be able to more. Uh, you will be able to get more idea once you will have the customer who is looking for internal audit for your case, right? So internal audit is one of the good revenues if you are planning to physically start office in UAE. That option we will be discussing how you can start physical office in UAE, but that will be the second option for us. First option will be to start practicing by sitting in UAE, by sitting in India itself, by sitting in your home country. These are the second option, which will give you good amount of revenue from the audit part as well. If we talk about the external audits, that is the statutory audits. So generally, we don't suggest in the beginning for taking the external audit assignments because external audit will require you to take the license for that particular thing. In case of external and statutory audits, it will be like if you are planning to take the auditing license, then there are various conditions. That is, first you need to have a 2 to 3 years minimum local experience. You need to show that you have the local experience here, you have done job here in one of the auditing firms or one of the accounting firms. You need to prove that you have the local experience. You need to clear the exam as informed by the UAE government. There will be one or two exams that you need to go through. And the third one, that is the main important thing. Currently, you will need the local sponsor, local professional sponsor for taking the audit license. This will be the major limitation for many of us, because if you will go with the local professional sponsor, this is the mandatory thing for the time being. So if you will go with the local professional sponsor, then the auditing license fees, or I mean the cost, will become very high, and it will be a yearly fixed expense for you. If I talk about the figures, then auditing license generally costs 3,500, and then there is some training session, compulsory training session that you need to attend, that will be of around 10,000, and the major part of the cost will go into the sponsor fees. That will be around 100,000 to 200,000, 1 lakh to 2 lakh, right? If I consider into the this figure. So roughly, if I say, if you are planning to take the auditing license, then roughly it will cost you around 100,000 AED to 200,000 AED. That's 22 lakhs to 44 lakhs INR. And the major portion of that fees, the cost will go into the sponsor side, right? So if you are, so you need to think whether you will be able to earn sufficient revenue from this external audit stream to bear this yearly fixed expense. I would suggest to avoid this step if you are beginner. Once you have settled down from your home country, then when you plan to open the office in physical, when you plan to open office physically in UAE on the next step, then only you should think for this part, that whether you should take the auditing license or not. Auditing license, generally when you would take, ideally you will get per the fees. If I talk about, then customers will provide you the fees of 85. This is a minimum 5,000 fees going on. It depends again on the scope of work. So ideally, 85,000 is the minimum auditing fees that is going on right now in the UAE market. It can be 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 as per the customer scope of work and the risk involved in it, right? So this is this is the kind of thing. These are the direct revenue that are available with you for the UAE market. If we talk about the second scope of service, again, that will be directly related to the UAE itself. Then the second scope of service is related to the company formation, right? So company formation is also one of the good streams wherein people earn good amount of money. So ideally, if I talk about the company formation fees that we are charging, so for company setup, we generally charge 83,000 to 6,000 depending on the customer's requirement on which fee zone he wishes to go with, and it also depends on whether he wish to open an individual entity on individual shareholding basis or if he wish to open a branch or a subsidiary company there. So ideally, cost for the setup is around, I mean, the fees that we charge for the setting up the unit in UAE, it ranges from 83,000 to 6,000. After that, there is visa processing and Emirates ID processing and the bank account assistance. So these four services are correlated with the company setup. Ideally, people will need these services from you when you will plan to open a company for a customer. We'll also need the visa processing services and the bank account services as well, along with Emirates ID and all these things. So in that case, if we talk about the visa processing, then ideally we charge AED 1,500 per customer per visa. So let's say if there is any company who is looking to have the two visas, have the two residence visas along with the company, then per visa we will be charging 1,500. So it comes to, for visa processing, it comes to 83,000. And after that, if we talk about the bank account, so bank account is also one of the good streams. Many of you might not be aware that out of India, generally wherever we plan to open the company, be it in US, UK, or any of the Gulf countries, or in Singapore, or I name any developed countries or such kind of tax attractive countries. So in that case, if anyone is planning to open the bank account, then the consultants charge them for this particular services, and the bank account assistance services are ranges from AED 1,500 to AED 3,000 to AED 6,000, 7,000 as well. So you just imagine that you have a customer who is looking to open the bank account, and ideally, this is the minimum fees that is charged. That is 80, 1,500 is the minimum fees that is charged for bank account opening assistance, because there are some strict norms which customer need to follow, and ideally he will not be able to do he will not be able to do it from his end. He will need the assistance from your side. So so ideally for this assistance, generally consultants charge 80, 15,000, 80, 1,500. This is the minimum cost. This is for digital bank account. And if anyone is planning to go for the physical bank account, then start from 80, 3,000, 4,000, right? So you can imagine that in INR it comes to 35,000 rupees to 1 lakh to 1 lakh 50,000 just for opening the bank account. So this is also one of the good streams when we talk about the company setup. So for company setup, you will have the company setup services, visa services, and the bank account opening assistance services as well, right? Now, if we talk about the third scope of services, that is, as I mentioned earlier, that is related to the dual country advantage. So the first, you can see there are so many services that you can plan to provide to the customer when he opens the unit out of India, right? So there are FEMA reportings that are required to be done in India. The ODI transactions will be done. There will be advisory and compliance services that he will be requiring related to particular FEMA related things. There will be DTAA related things, international taxation, NRI taxation, and transfer pricing practice. So these are the, I mean, these are the kind of services which you can provide to the customer. Again, structure planning is one of the kind of streams where you can earn good amount of money. People are earning in the structure ideation and planning. I mean, they are earning huge amount of money for preparing the structure of the company, if, as per the taxes, as per the laws of UAE as well as from Indian side. So so you can also plan to do it, but it will be if you are not into the particular services, firstly you will have to tie up with one of the consultants there, and then as well as and when you plan to start growing, you can plan to do, and you can plan to provide these services by your own. But initially, in the starting phase, you need to share these services, you need to provide these services in assistance with the consultants, because these are the riskier one. You can't try to, I mean, you can't try to provide these services on your own, by your own thinking and by your own studies, right? Because FEMA is a kind of strict law, wherein if the customer gets stuck, then ideally there are heavy penalties in this kind of things. So again, this is one of the huge practicing section when you plan to open, when you plan to go international on the international level. So these are the kind of services that you can provide to the Indian customer when he plans to open unit. Either in, I mean, it's not only about the Dubai side. Even if that customer plans to open the office in Singapore or in US or UK, he will have to need, he will be needing all these services. He will need the structure planning. He might come to you to take the advice for how he should open a company there, whether he should go on the individual shareholding basis, whether he should open the branch of the Indian company, or whether he should go with the subsidiary company of the Indian company. So generally, we don't provide these services free of cost, right? So you just need to explain him that these are the services that we are providing, and this is the thing that we will be charging for this particular task. Of course, the US laws and the UAE laws also need to be referred. So without that, we will not be able to comment on the structuring part, right? So all these things can also be a good practicing scope when you plan to start going international level, right? Then, if I talk about further things, okay. Now, we will talk about how to proceed ahead. I mean, we have discussed about the list of services that we can provide. There are various services that you can provide, but how should we start, right? What are the options available, and how can we plan to open the company, and how can we plan to start the practice by sitting in India itself, right? So So the first option that is available with us, that is the risk-free and the safe option, and it will not require much of your investments. Mm, okay, it will not require much of your investment from your side. So ideally, if you are professional based in India and you wish to start the practice from India without opening the physical office in UAE, then start providing the services initially to the local Indian customers in your home country. Try to find such kind of customers in your local country itself who are looking to open a company in Dubai, or who are looking to uh, take the services from you for their company in UAE, right? So you can, once you have opened the company for them, then you can plan to provide them the taxation, bookkeeping, and all these services related to the UAE, not only related to the UAE, but also from the Indian part as well. So this is the safest option that is available for you. If you don't want to invest more if you don't want to financially invest more in opening the practice related to the UAE, then ideally is the simple option. You have the network in India, right? Let's say if you are already practicing in India, you already have the network in India. You try to pitch your network in India about the services that you can provide in UAE. Try to find the customers from the local market, from Indian market itself, and provide them the services related to the company setups, and then for the taxation and all these things. This is the simple and safest option that is available with you for the time being if you wish to go with the simpler one. Then once you have once you have uh, some kind of some once you have few customers who have already opened the company through you, or who have already started taking services from you related to the VAT or corporate tax or for audit or for FEMA related services, and if you once you get the confidence to those customers, then I would suggest you to, if you wish to expand more and provide more services, like I mentioned about the internal audit and all these services. So for internal audit, the thing will be like you need to physically remain present there. Of course, it's a good revenue stream, which will give you a good monthly income. But for that, you need to come to UAE. You need to create a market, physical market as well in UAE, apart from doing the marketing or approaching the customers in India itself. Then in that case, once you have taken the customer, once you have some of the base ready from your side, once you have few customers already in your pocket, then you shall plan to go with the second option of coming to UAE physically to add more customers and for targeting the local customers in UAE, not only for the company setup, but also for the tax compliances, bookkeeping, and auditing services on site as well as off site, right? Going directly for the second option would be a way riskier option, as there will be fixed expenses, right? What shall be the fixed expenses if you're planning? Let's say if you have enough capital right now and you are established company in India, and you're planning to start directly with the physical office in UAE, and you wish to go with the physical marketing, then in that case, first of all, you will have to take the license, which will minimum cost you 80 10,000. You will have to go with the office. It will cost you minimum 80 25,000. This is the minimum cost I'm talking about. It will range from 50,000 to 1 lakh as well. But I'm talking the things which I'm mentioning here are all in the minimum range. So license cost will be 80 10,000. Office cost will be 80 25,000. Residence cost will be minimum 80 25,000. If you go with the traveling and living cost as well, it will be again 25,000. So roughly, the minimum fixed expense that you will be incurring will be 85,000 to 1 lakh if you are going with the direct second option to start physically remain. I mean, to start physically remain present there. So I would suggest not to choose this option unless and otherwise you have the good capital available. Better to start with the first option and have some customers first, and then go with the second option. Of course, those who have the sufficient capital and they want to, if they have the good base in India and they have sufficient customers, if they are confident that they can create a good market by physically remaining present in UAE, then you can try for the second option directly also, right? Now, if I say, Kapil, I don't have the Indian network as well as I don't want to go with the second option as well. You're saying that you don't want to go with the first option because you don't have any kind of Indian network. You don't want to go with the second option, that is the riskier one. Then what are the options available? Then the third option available is the customer outreach option. We are now living into the digital era, so you can implement diverse outreach strategies, such as you can plan to conduct webinars, seminars, and you can plan to do digital advertising to reach the potential clients, not only in India, but also across the globe who are seeking overseas business support. So the third one is related to the digital marketing. You can do not only the digital marketing, but also the seminars, webinars, and all these things that you can try, through which you can try to reach to the customers on the to the global level. So this option can be chosen by you along with the first option and second option, or you can also choose it as a separate option. Like you can start from the beginning. You don't have, let's say you are starting the office right now also in India. I mean, you are just opening your office in India. You don't have any kind of network available with you. Then also you can go with this option and you can plan to create a kind of network for you through digital marketing and by conducting the seminars and webinars. Of course, that will require some kind of effort from you to get the prospects data on which you need to be approaching to the customers. But these all things can be done, right? People come here to settle down and for doing businesses from many developed countries like US, UK, Europe. So you, once you plan to start your business from your home country, and you plan to go for the second option afterwards, so they are already in your checklist of probable customers as and when you plan to visit UAE for your official purposes, right? So these are the things these are the three options that are available with us. First one will be the safest option. Second one is the riskier option, and the third one is not related with the first option and second option. You can also relate it with the first option and second option, but you can also treat it as a separate option as well if you don't have any kind of network available, right? Now, if we talk about the next part, okay. Now, if we talk about the next part, that is related to the how to gain the knowledge. Let's say you have the supplier side available. Let's say you have the let's say you already have the customer base ready, you already have the supplier side ready, who will be helping you in gaining the market. Like, I can say, like, let's say you have tied up with some of the consultants. Let's say you have already tied up with few of the free zones there for setting up the company in UAE, and you also have the customer base available. But how to expand your knowledge and expert, I mean, how to gather the knowledge? Then in this case we have two options. First is, you need to commit on ongoing education, training, and collaboration. I mean, you need to collaborate with many of the people here, and you need to read books published by the ICAI taxman and publisher. Of course, I will share the books that have been issued by the ICAI for the corporate tax and VAT. You will be receiving these things in the bonus part, in the bonus registration. As soon as you will register for the bonus, you will receive the books, ebooks from my side, which are issued by the ICI for corporate tax and VAT recently. You can refer the books issued by the taxman as well as from other publishers. There are many publishers who have the corporate tax laws and the VAT laws related publishings, right? You can check out the updates on the ICI Dubai chapter website. They have the YouTube platform as well, and they have the separate website as well. So they keep coming up with the seminars on providing the technical knowledge related to the related to the things that are going on regular basis in UAE. So you will be able to gather knowledge from that particular thing as well. Apart from this, you need to attend the seminars and webinars as I mentioned. It can be from ICI Dubai chapter side as well, and also uh, ICI Dubai chapter, along with ICI India, they are they keep the sessions on practical training for corporate tax and as well as for VAT on regular basis, on regular intervals. Ideally, as far as I'm aware, uh, in a year they keep it at least for 3 to 4 times. So you need to, uh, you need to just remain updated whenever these sessions will be coming. You just join that session and have the practical knowledge session on corporate tax and VAT, right? You need to discuss your queries with the experts. You need to collaborate with the experts for local support there, and you need to also discuss whatever queries you have. You need to start discussing with the corporate tax authorities, mainland and either in mainland as well as in free zones. So these are the things that you need to do to have the continuous learning, to gather the knowledge related to the UAE market, UAE laws. But one thing that I'll share with you is that if you have any kind of support from the local professional colleague or local professional friend, let's say you have some of the friends in UAE who have been practicing in UAE, or who are doing the job in UAE, and if anyone is from them is close to you, then the kind of support that you might get from that particular local professional colleague or friend will be unlimited. I mean, I can say, if you're planning to open a practice in UAE, first of all, you should try this option as well. Apart from gaining the knowledge, of course, its knowledge is mandatory. You need to remain updated. But apart from this, you also need to have a local professional support if it's possible from your side. It's not mandatory, but if you have a local professional colleague or local professional friend who can help you, I mean, who can help you to develop practice, it will work wonder for you. I mean, any kind of queries wherever you are stuck, he will be able to help you in any kind of restrictions. I mean, in any kind of issues you might be facing during the registrations of company setup, during the visa assistance or bank account assistance, or for during the corporate tax and VAT related questions. So, if you can find such kind of colleague, it will work wonder for you. Next is you learn while sharing customers practically. So this is one of the common methods of learning. That is, you should share your complex clients in the beginning to the experts and learn while watching how the experts serve to your customers. See, this is the thing we have also implemented while we started our practice in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Bahrain, as well as in Singapore and US. So whenever we had the inquiry for the continent or the country in which we didn't have any knowledge, we started sharing that customers directly to our associates, and we started learning from that particular transaction, from that particular meetings, how can we go ahead. Let's say if I talk about Saudi Arabia, so for Saudi Arabia, we don't have physical presence. If I talk about for my firm, we don't have any physical presence in Saudi Arabia. Still, now we are doing business for Saudi Arabia as well. Reason being, 2 years ago, when we started getting inquiries for Saudi Arabia, we tied up with one of the associates there, and we started sharing the customers' details directly to that particular consultant. Of course, he needs to be a trustworthy one. You need to find a trustworthy consultant. Once we started sharing all these things, we attended the meeting. We came to know how what are the norms and how should we proceed ahead in case of KSA. And then we started closing the deals from our side itself. Instead of keeping that consultant in between, we started interacting with the customers directly for the KSA part as well. That that has been possible because we started learning while sharing customers also. It's not mandatory that you need to have the customer. You It's not mandatory that you should keep the customer to yourself itself. See, it's a kind of thing, as and when you will grow, you need to share your customers as well if you wish to learn good things in the these are the kind of cream market, I can say. These are the cream kind of market wherein you will be able to earn good amount of revenue even if you share the customer, even if you refer the customer to any of the consultants. You will be earning good amount of money, but at the same time you need to make sure that you remain in the meeting. You see what the kind of questions that customer is asking for the particular market, and you need to also see how that consultant is resolving his queries and what are the kind of things he is referring to when he's answering to the customer's query. So in that case itself, you will start learning how you should go ahead in particular that market. You need to keep data and security and curiosity out from these things. If you are looking to seriously learn, then there should not be a customer data insecurity in your mind. See, you need to share your customer. If you will stay in between, that if customer is asking you something, you just confirm from the consultant and then you revert back to the customer and you stay as a mediator between them. It will it will the deal will not go through. You will not be able to close the deal because you don't have the knowledge for that particular thing, and you are unnecessarily becoming a hurdle for that transaction. If you will directly give that customer to that particular consultant and you stay in the meetings, you will be able to see how these things are getting resolved and how that process flow is going on. Only then you will be able to understand. Otherwise, the customer will lose the confidence in you and he will go to any other place, because what you will be doing is, if customer will ask you something, you will say to him that I will get back to you after 2 days or after one day for your query. So in this way, if you will do such kind of things and you ask the consultant that query and consultant reverts to you and then you revert back to the customer, so it's a time consuming thing and the customer will lose interest in you in that case. It's better that you share the customer directly to the consultant and see how it's working. You need to have faith in professionalism. You need to have the patience if you're learning, if you're planning to learn good things, and if you're planning to grow your practice internationally, right? Now, the next and the most important thing, how to get the customer's data. See, everything is finalized, everything has been done from your side. You have the knowledge, you have tied up with the authorities there. You also have the you also have the understanding of the UAE market. But now you have the issue related to the customer, how to get the customer. You don't have the customers right now. You have the sufficient resources, but you don't have the customer. Why I'm focusing on the customer side? Reason being, customers data is not easily available online in UAE. It's not publicly available in UAE on the government sites. Like if I talk about India, so in India we have the MCA, right? Most of you are aware about all these things. So we get the data easily for the companies on MCA website. We also can check the public. I mean, we can also check the company's financial documents on the MCA. But if we talk about UAE, then in that case the scenario is totally different. You will not get any kind of data. You will not get any kind of data on the government sites. So, so the chapter from the government side is closed. Now, how to get that customer's data if you are not having the data from the government side, right? Also, one of the major problem is that most of the customers are coming from out of UAE. They're not residing in UAE. They have come from out of UAE to do business and to reside, right? So there are three options available uh, on which we will be working right now. The first one is the online presence. You need to have the website. You need to be very much aggressive on Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok, you might not be aware that TikTok, even though it's not, even it's banned in India, but you need to think out of these boundaries. It's banned in India, but it's not banned in US. It's not banned in UK. So people, consultants try to market their services in such platforms as well, which are working on international level. It might be possible that these platforms are not accessible in India, but ideally the customer is there on the international platform. So you need to go to the international platform as well to market, to advertise your services, right? So online presence is mandatory for you if you are looking to get the customers for UAE. Then online presence is a mandatory thing. And not only I'm not talking about if only online presence, but it should be the aggressive online presence. You are supposed to have the good website. You need to have the strong Google presence. Google should be able to detect you as a good competitor for the UAE market. You should also be available on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. I mean, on various social media platforms. So competition is very high on Google and other search engines if we go with the online presence. But it's worth if you get a single customer as well. It will give you a good amount of revenue. Even if a single customer gets clicked through your online presence, then it will give you a good amount of revenue, not only for the first time, but also in the coming years as well. The next one is the mouth of word. So ideally, mouth of word will become effective when you have the physical presence, not only in UAE but also in India. It will work good when you have the physical presence in the countries wherein you are residing, that is your home country. Also for the country wherein for which you are working, that is for UAE. So mouth of word is a kind of thing which will take time, and it will happen slowly and gradually. As and when you will start, as and when your number of customers will increase, accordingly the mouth of word will also increase, and you will start getting customers through mouth of word as well. Of course, through online presence also you will get, you might be able to get the mouth of word references. But these things will happen only in such kind of countries wherein you have the physical presence, right? Generally, if I talk about ourselves, so we have the presence in Dubai as well as in India. So if I talk about the internal audit work, so we have got most of the works related to the internal audit to mouth of words references, right? And the third one is the data extraction and the communication tools and networking, right? If you are not able to if you are not able to go with the first option, that is aggressive online presence, if you're not having the second option available as well, that is mouth of word, then the third option is again networking. So you need to implement the sourcing applications to collect the data. You need to accept data for the customers who can be a prospect for UAE market. You need to work on that part, and you need to do networking and you through the communication tools. We will be discussing this in the bonus part, which will be happening after this particular session. So this is what the market is. See, in simple words, if I say, you need to think in a way that as we are doing in the routine practice, if you have a routine practice in India, just think in such a way that as you have been doing in your routine practice, customers go to their own tax consultants or professionals for taking the advice. Generally, if any of the customer is looking for opening a company out of India, generally it will he will go to the he will go to his own tax consultants or professionals who are filing their returns right now, right? Or maybe they will be searching on Google or other search engines or in social media platform for the services they look for. Like if you will go to the Google, you might be able to see many of the customers searching for company setup in UAE, right? They are also searching for the visa related services in UAE. On YouTube also, you if you will try to type something related to UAE company setup, by default you will be able to see that Google is suggesting you these are the keywords that you need to work on. So it means that YouTube is already having such kind of public who is searching on such kind of keywords. Anyone who is looking to set up a company in UAE, if he is searching on YouTube company setup in UAE, as soon as you will write company setup in, so it will or YouTube will automatically suggest you that you are looking for a company setup in UAE or company setup in Singapore or wherever. So it means that there are public who are looking for such kind of services on YouTube as well, right? So you need to work in a kind of thing that you are as if you are doing a routine practice. You need to conduct webinars, seminars, and you also need to do advertising through email and other communication tools, right? So that's it for this is the main content for this particular session. After this, uh, once we will be starting with this question and answer session, and after that we will be having a networking related portion as well. So those who are interested in staying for the to understand the networking part, they can stay with us, and those who wish to leave, they can ask the questions first of all. Those who have the questions, they can ask from here, and if they are not interested in going with the networking and the branding part, which we will be continuing after 5-10 minutes once we are finishing with the question answer session. After that, we will be going for the networking portion, in which we will be explaining you how to get the customers in detail, and what are the things that you should do for getting the customers, right? So that portion will be conducting after we finish with the question answer session for the first part. So if anyone is having queries related to the till now which we have whatever we have discussed, they can put in the comment section. I am enabling the chat box as well, so that we can everyone can see these things. Anyone if anyone if we, if anyone is having any kind of questions, they can just post the comment in the YouTube session. And we also have the bonus registrations, wherein we will be sharing the as I mentioned, we will be sharing the ICI text material and these slides as well. So let me share the QR code for that as well. Just a second. uh, here we are. Many of you have already scanned the code, but those who have still not scanned the code, they can do it from here, and we can still then start with the question and answer session. And if there are no question answers, I mean, if there are no questions from your side, then we shall proceed for the networking slides as well. Anyone having questions, or shall we start with the next part? Mr. Deep, you can see the contact details on the screen. You can note down the contact details from the slide that you can see right now. And yes, we can discuss after this webinar for the collaboration and whatever queries you have, right? Okay, I believe we shall proceed for the next part, and at the end we will be once again having the question and answer session, and at that time we can discuss the questions that will be posting, right? So coming to the next part. Okay, let me turn on the Mr. Ajay has asked one of the question related to, do you have any team who can guide step by step process to start accounting outsourcing work from India? Ajayji, I can see these are the things which we have been asked by many of the customers. That's why we have put the separate session for all these things. Generally, we do the session on the UAE technical concepts related to how to set up a company in UAE. Not related to how to set up the company in UAE, but we explain the basic concepts related to the free zone and all these things. But the session which we are keeping right now, that is related to how to grow practice in UAE. This thing we have specially dedicated for all those who have been asking us for the things that how should we start outsourcing practice from UAE. So I'll be answering your question right now in the networking event as well. You can just see uh, this session, and you will be able to understand that what are the steps that you need to do to start the practice, right? Mr. Sumanji has asked about the study materials. Uh, Sumanji, this is the bonus part registration. As you can see, there is a scanner I have shared here. So you can just scan this code and register yourself for the bonus part, and you will get the material in the bonus part. I mean, you will get the mail from our side. As soon as you will register, you will get the mail from our side, and it will contain these slides along with the material of ICA, right? I am turning off this chat box for the time being so that we can start with the next part. Okay, so how to do networking? I mean, how should we keep our online presence aggressively so that customers try to connect us directly? So, see, basically, there are many things that you need to work on. The first thing is mastering any or all social media platforms on your own, or either by hiring the expert. See, networking will need different. It will definitely need effort from your side. Either you need to master yourself in some of the social media fields and search engines like Google. If I'm talking about Google, then you need to master in the Google SEO and Google Ads. You need to master in Google and YouTube, or you need to master in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also one of the good sources. I'll give you why. I mean, I'll explain how LinkedIn is a good platform for taking the data as well. Facebook is also one of the good sources, and Instagram is also one of the good sources. So you need to master in any of the services. Of course, all these, if you will try to master in all these services, then ideally, I would not suggest to go for yourself. You should at least hire some of the consultants for any of these services. Like if I talk about ourselves, then we have hired a consultant for Google SEO and Google Ads. We haven't went with YouTube till now, and we are not working on YouTube as well till now. but we are working on LinkedIn by ourselves. We are working on Facebook, not actively but passively on Facebook. We are highly aggressive on LinkedIn. We are passively active on Facebook, and for Instagram we haven't decided till now. So each and every platform has its own benefits and limitations, and it will definitely take time to master in all these things. So ideally, even if you don't master, let's say if you are saying that you want to outsource this work to your consultant, so even the consultant will require some of the information from your side. If I talk about the example, when we started with the Google ads, we hired one of the consultants. So at that time, at least I had some of the knowledge. At least I had some of the knowledge related to the business setup related services. So generally, when we go on Google, so there are various people who look after business setup services in UAE. They wish to set up the business, right? So there is a difference between wish to set up a business and wish to set up a company in Dubai. So those who are planning to set up a business, so these people might be searching for the business ideas, a kind of business ideas they can uh, work on for starting their business in Dubai. So these are not our customers. If I particularly say, the person who is looking, who is searching on Google for the business ideas for starting the business in Dubai, so he's definitely not my prospect. I don't want to show my ads to that particular customer because I am not the business consultant. I am the chartered accountant, and I provide services related to the company setup and taxation and auditing services. So the person who is still on the earlier stage of thinking what type of business should he start. So these are not my prospects. To these are not the kind of audience to which I want to show my ads. So so there are very confusing words in Google. So you need to identify such kind of words, and you need to explain your consultant that if anyone is searching on business setup in UAE, then ideally he might be searching for the business ideas as well, or he might be searching for seriously on company setup. So business setup in Dubai, if anyone is searching on Google, so it has two meanings. So at least you need to have these basic understanding as well, that if anyone is searching on this particular keyword, then might be possible he might be searching for the business ideas to start the business, or he might also be searching for the for company setup in Dubai. So you need to guide to the consultant these are the words that may have the double meaning, and we need to filter such kind of audience which are not relevant to us. Consultant will do whatever you will ask him to do. You will just, if you will just tell him that we want to we have a particular website, we have designed a particular website for UAE, and we wish you to market our services on Dubai, in on Google. So he will ask you what type of services you want to advertise through Google. You will say that you wish to have the customers who are looking for company setup in Dubai. He will try to filter. He will try to search keywords that are related to that. He will show you these keywords, that these are the keywords on which people are searching, and accordingly you need to provide him the recommendations and suggestions that we will be working on these particular keywords. If I say one visa company setup cost, IFZA free zone company setup, DMCC free zone company setup. So these are the kind of searches that people are working on. People try to search on DIFC, DMCC. These are the free zones which are available in Dubai. People try to search on mainland, how to set up a company in mainland. So that particular consultant will give you all the keywords, and you need to work on these things, that which are the keywords relevant to your business. So your knowledge and your expertise and your, at least you need to have some knowledge about the Google ads, that how Google is searching the audience for your keywords. So even in that case also, if you're planning to hire the consultant, you need to have some inputs. Everything will not be taken care by consultant. At least you need to have some sort of knowledge, else it will go into the trial and error basis. That for 2 3 months you will try and you will try, and if you don't get the success, you will keep changing the methods. So if you don't want to go into that practice, that for trying an error method in Google Ads, then you need to have some some sort of knowledge, you can search on Google, you can search on YouTube and take see the videos how Google Ads work, right? Similarly, if we talk about LinkedIn, then LinkedIn is also one of the platforms which is highly suggestible for getting the customers for UAE. But you need to understand how you should reach to the customers through LinkedIn. You need to prepare your profile, you need to optimize your profile on LinkedIn, so that such a way in such a way that if any customer tries to search on LinkedIn, your profile should come on the first page, your profile should come on the first top three, that this is the guy who is providing these services to you. Are you getting my point? So these are the things that, I mean, you need to enter in each and every platform and see how can you provide the services and how these platform works, right? So you need to take out the time to understand the software features, image. I mean, if I say about myself, uh, when we went for the LinkedIn for creating the event, live event for the first time, I'm giving just an example for my side, that when we tried for the going live, generally we keep the webinars on Teams and Zoom, right? But we tried for the LinkedIn for the first time for creating the live event on LinkedIn. At that time, it took me minimum 1 day to 2 days. I'm talking about the entire day to understand how LinkedIn events work. How should I post my article there? How should I keep the image? So it these are the things that you will learn as and when you will start doing these practices. As and when you will start doing practically, your mind will open and you will be able to see what are the changes that you require to do in your profile, what are the things that you need to take into consideration when you're posting something on LinkedIn, right? So if I talk about LinkedIn, now let's talk about business. How do we get the customers from LinkedIn? So there are LinkedIn data extraction tools available. So as I mentioned that for Dubai, it's not possible to get the data from the government sites. So this is one of the example I'm giving you. You can implement it whenever you are free. Uh, there are LinkedIn data extraction tools available. So if I talk about my site, for corporate tax registrations, we have started marketing. So what we did is, we searched in the Sales Navigator. In LinkedIn, there is a Navigator platform. So in Sales Navigator, we searched for the CEO, COO, founders, co-founders, directors in the UAE company. You need to put the geographical location UAE, and you need to search on the profile about directors, founders, co-founders, business owners, so who are the main authority for the UAE companies. So in this way, we got the data from the Sales Navigator and we extracted the data through the LinkedIn data extraction tool. And once we got the data, we started mailing each and everyone for the corporate tax registrations, right? So this is one of the example I'm giving you. You can do all such kind of things. You can get the data from LinkedIn through the data extraction. A kind of data I have already given an example. This is the real thing which we have done. We gathered the data from LinkedIn on the basis of these top management persons in UAE, and we downloaded the data and we started marketing on all these email IDs which we got through this particular LinkedIn data, right? So this way you can have the data extraction not only for the UAE but for any kind of market with ifs and buts and whatever conditions you wish to put in the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? Apart from this, you also need to master in the communication applications like SMS, WhatsApp, and mailings. Of course, mailing is one of the best communication platform available right now. I mean, you might not be able to master yourself in WhatsApp. You might not be able to master yourself in SMS. At least I would recommend you to master yourself in the mailing part. In the mailing part, in the sense, mail marketing I'm talking about, cold mailing I'm talking about. If I talk about the mailing professionals, if you outsource these mailing services for mail marketing to the professional, ideally he will charge you from INR 25,000 to 70,000 per month. So this is the kind of craziness that is going on in market. It's a must need. It's important to have the mailing marketing in your practice if you are seriously looking to get the data. I mean, if you are seriously looking to have the customers and for the networking part, right? So if you're planning to outsource it, ideally the professionals, the mailing professionals will charge you from 25,000 to 70,000. In our office, we do it in house. We have learned many of the things for mailing side, and after learning the ways of mailing, we have done each and everything. Now nowadays we are doing each and everything from the mailing side within our office, right from creating the mail template and connecting the data. So this is all the things we are doing right now from our office itself. We haven't hired the professional for this because it ideally costs around. Well, if I talk about my data, ideally I have got the figures of minimum 54,000 on my data. If I have bulk of data available, but you need to work on the mail validation as well. Each and every data that you will buy from outside, or each and every data that you will get from the LinkedIn or through any platform, you need to validate that data as well, whether the email IDs are correct or not, right? So you need to work on that part as well. So these are the small things that each and every platform has. So mailing does have various things that you need to work on. So you need to decide on how to manage and control these costs in a proper manner so that uh, your advertising cost and the networking cost for gathering the data for getting the customer till the end doesn't rise enough, being a beginner in this field. Also, your existing way of practice and marketing and your existing network can also help you a lot. Like, if I talk about our firm, in India, we are also into the DS industry since last 10 years. I'm talking about the digital signature industry. So I already have good number of connects and networks for the CA and CS. So the way I have been marketing through WhatsApp and on the CA and CS network that I have in my channel, that has also helped me for UA networking and business expansion, right? So you need to work on the social media marketing platforms. You also need to work on the communication platforms. You need to choose whether you wish to do it on your own or you wish to hire the expert for these things. But of course, in the beginning, I would suggest you to do it by do it on your own and not on all the thing or not on all the platforms. You start one by one, at least wherever you feel comfortable that these are the things that I can do comfortably. Like if I say about mailings is a kind of thing that I can do comfortably. That's why I went in deep in that particular site, in that particular market, and I've learned a lot of things. And then we have started doing it by ourselves. We have done a lot of mistakes in doing the mail marketing, and after doing a lot of mistakes, we have understood it and we have taken sessions, and then we have now mastered in that particular thing. If I talk about YouTube, so YouTube, I don't believe I can do it by myself. I need to create the videos. So for video, I can be sure that I can't do it by myself. So I need to hire a particular person who will be helping us in YouTube marketing. So this is my personal choice that I'm talking about. Like for more of like for WhatsApp and mailing, I can do it by myself. I have good knowledge. But for if I talk about Google Ads, if I talk about YouTube videos that we have to post, I can't do it myself. I don't have that much knowledge and I don't have that much time as well now. For LinkedIn, we have done it by ourselves. So you need to choose on your basis. If you have a mastery in video creation, then it's a good thing. You should go with the YouTube video posting and ad marketing by yourself in that case. If you can't do it, if you are poor in mailing, then you should hire the mail. You should hire the consultant for that part. It depends on you. What are the things that you can do by yourself as per your comfort level, and what are the things that you can outsource, and you should outsource it one by one instead of going with all together, right? Test and try is the simple and mool mantra that we had applied during the marketing side. Even if you even if you go wrong, and if I talk as I mentioned about the mailing part, if even if you go wrong and sell bulk mails in 5,000 or 10,000, then also it has hidden to some of the right customers. It will be hitting to the right customers, and we have got the successful leads even by trying the wrong thing in the initial level. So as I mentioned, we were not aware in the initial level that we can't send 5,000 or 10,000 mails in the initial level, but we have sent bulk mails in the 5,000, 10,000, and 20,000 lot as well in the initial levels. But that has also, even though it was a wrong practice, it has given us the successful leads, right? So had I been going in the right manner from the beginning, then I wouldn't have been able to reach to these customers till now. And these customers would have gone through any other consultant as they had the requirement at that time, and we mailed them, and it was bingo that uh, he was having the requirement, and we had shoot him the mail at the same time, right? You will be trying, you will get fail, you will learn through that failure, and then again you will have to try, fail, and learn. These are the simple fundamental rules that you have to remember when you will be going for the networking and marketing side and for the branding side as well. These are the three mool mantras you have to follow, right? Dual advantage I have already discussed about you. One thing I will always say about the dual advantage, once again I'm going on that part itself. Majority of the competitors in UAE doesn't have this expertise. We have this expertise. That's why people prefer to come to us. Like if I say about the Indian market, many of the people now prefer us to go for UAE, even if we charge them good amount of money. Then also they come to us for company formation and all these things, because they know that we will be assisting them in FEMA side, we will be assisting them in ODI transactions related to things, we will be assisting them in international transaction and international taxation side. So you already have the dual advantage if you are planning to do it, if you're planning to practice in UAE or in USA or any kind or any country outside India. You already have a dual advantage which the other competitors doesn't have. You need to showcase this facility, you need to showcase this advantage to your customers when you will be trying to propose them for coming with you for providing, I mean, for company setup and all the services. So customers will definitely prefer you rather than going to the consultant who is sitting in UAE itself. We have many consultants in UAE and they are very famous online, but still we are getting a huge number of business from India. Reason being, people trust the persons who are in India, who are having the physical presence in India as well, and who can provide them the services related to India as well, even though you are planning to provide the services in UAE, right? The third thing is you can get the assistance from your senior members. Ask your senior professional members to assist you in fetching the clients. I've seen such helping seniors as well, with whose support professionals have developed their outsourcing practice tremendously. I mean, I have literally seen the US, I have some of the US consultants who are in Ahmedabad itself, who are in India itself, and they have got the good number of support from their senior professional members, and they have done good amount of, they have earned good amount of revenues after that. Similarly, you can also ask your senior members to help you, and in future you should also help your uh, juniors. If you are not into that particular practice, if you are not into that particular field, but if you have the customers who might be needing such services, so you should help your juniors as well, right? Understand the preference of mode of communications and social platform access for your business. See, you need to also understand what kind of communication platform that your customer is preferring, what kind of social media platforms uh, from which you can get a good number of inquiries. Let's say if I talk about Facebook, Facebook is a kind of platform wherein you will have to market to the audience, and whosoever will be interested in, who will be seeing that particular video or image, and if he will be interested, he will be inquiring to you on the comment section or on the contact details which you have mentioned, wherein Google SEO and Google search and Google ads is a kind of thing wherein customer is searching on Google for this particular requirement, and your ad is popping out, and your ad is coming there, wherein Google is showing your ad that this is a person who is providing these services. so you can connect with him. So both the platforms are having different mode of working, so you need to decide what kind of platform you wish to go with, whether you will have such kind of audience on Facebook, or whether you will have such kind of audience on Google or on YouTube. From my side, if I talk about Facebook, there are many competitors who are doing marketing on Facebook and Instagram, but honestly speaking, I don't believe in such on going with such kind of platforms. It's a kind of general platform that any person, we have to shoot. I mean, we have to guide to the Facebook that this is our audience wherein we wish to show our video or image, and whoever will be interested, he will be inquiring to us. So it's kind of thing that out of millions people, you are trying to find a customer who might be having such requirement, right? I prefer to go with Google or YouTube, wherein people come and search for the things that are they looking for. Like as I mentioned, that one of if any of the customers is looking for a company setup in Dubai, I would search. I would like to have such kind of customer. I would like to go with such kind of platform wherein customers could itself trying to go with such kind of requirements, instead of going with the Facebook, right? So you need to work on that thing also, that whether you should go with the Facebook marketing, or you should go with the Google marketing, or you should go with the LinkedIn marketing. Of in India, there are WhatsApp marketing also. People do WhatsApp marketing as well, and it's common nowadays in India. But if I talk about the foreign countries, you can't do WhatsApp marketing. They will straight away ban you. People generally want, as soon as you will send the WhatsApp marketing message, they will straightforward ban you, and you will not be able to. I mean, the number will get banned, and you will not be able to do the marketing there on WhatsApp. So ideally, WhatsApp marketing is itself not doable in foreign countries. It's ideally for India or such kind of countries when people love to receive such kind of messages on WhatsApp as well, right? Email marketing, if I say, email marketing is again a kind of thing wherein people, if you are trying to if you are trying to market on a wrong audience in foreign countries, then they will try to unsubscribe you. They will try to block you from the email list. Again, it's not a good signal, right? So you need to work on the database, wherein you need to see whether you are approaching the kind of customer or audience wherein you might be able to get a good number of prospects. If that customer will not be having a kind of requirement, uh, then he might try to block you from the beginning itself, right? So you need to understand the audience, you need to understand the platform. This is the way that we work on, right? Apart from this, the last thing, this is a simple summary which you have already discussed. It's simple. You need to gain knowledge and experience. How should we gain the knowledge? I mean, even though you will gain the knowledge, but how are you going to get the motivation for gaining the knowledge? Of course, there are two things that you can do. One is the official trip. If you will do some official trip to Dubai, and you will try to see the customers, and you will try to attend some exhibitions, events there, then this can act as a motivation for you to gain the knowledge for the UAE market, and to attract the customers and to start networking. Second is, of course, the customer's inquiry. As soon as you get the customer's inquiry, you get the motivation to resolve the customer's inquiry, or whatever the customer will be having the doubt. You will get the motivation to understand the customer's inquiry, and you will try to get the knowledge for that particular part, right? So these are the two things which ideally help you to gain the knowledge, as well as it provides you the motivation to do the networking to get more customers inside, right? So we are already going with the official trip. Many of you might not be aware, but there is an official business tour for the professionals, which we have conducted from 4th June to 8th June, and we are taking almost 25 to 30 professionals from India to Dubai, and we will be visiting many events there. So we have already arranged for this time. There will be a second trip also being announced in the coming time, and at that time we will be discussing on that part as well. But we do arrange all such kind of things. So anytime there will be such kind of opportunities available, I'll share you the same on the mail as well as on WhatsApp. But official trip is a kind of thing that you should do at least for visiting the market and the exhibitions and to meet the professionals there and to meet the authorities there. So these all things we are catering and we are doing in this particular official trip wherein we'll be uh, helping the professionals coming from India to meet with the authorities there, to meet with the local professionals there who are already there into the practice, and to meet the business groups there, right? Second is supplier side. All I have already mentioned. Uh, you can collaborate with the authorities. You can collaborate with the consultants there for any kind of services that you can plan to provide for the customers. And the third one is customers, right? We have already discussed all these things. If we talk about the services that we are providing, I mean, what kind of techniques, what kind of services we are using in our office for branding and networking. So generally for data collection and for data buying from different sources, we are using the Gromi organic software. This is online available. We are using this for LinkedIn and for Facebook scrapers, right? For bulk mailing and cold mailing, we are using the Mailchimp and Lemlist. You can search on Google. You will, as soon as you get this slide, you will get this access as well. What are the systems we are using for the networking as well as for branding? Then in that case, you can use the MailChimp or Limlist for mailing services. You can search on Google as well. For more WhatsApp marketing using API feature, we have recently started, but we are not getting that much success in WhatsApp marketing using API feature. We generally use the normal number without API for WhatsApp marketing. For LinkedIn network growing with connections and messaging options, we have taken the premium features, so you can use the LinkedIn premium for increasing your network, right? Or you can also use the sales navigator for live webinars on regular basis. We, as I mentioned, we use Teams, and right now, since last couple of months, we are not using Teams. There is a separate software, of course. As you can see, there is a restream mentioned, so we are using restream for streaming our events live on YouTube and LinkedIn, right? We are conducting the seminars. Recently we have conducted the seminar in Sar, and now we have the seminar in Noida, probably in June. We haven't fixed the date, but ideally it will be on 8th June. We are going to Noida for in the Noida branch for conducting this seminar on Dubai part. You can participate in exhibitions as a sponsor, and you can also take the stand there, like we did in Vibrant Gujarat. You can visit the big events and meet the sponsors there if you haven't. And even if you don't take the stall, you can visit these big events and meet the sponsors there. Recently, we had been in Gulf Food. Gulf Food is one of the biggest events happening in Dubai. So there are almost 3,000 to 4,000 exhibitors. So even if you meet that particular exhibitor as well, your work will be done, right? Now Saudi food is also there. Saudi Arabia, there is a Saudi food event also coming up. Probably, I think it is in May end, or if I'm not wrong. So you can collect the data of the sponsors of those big events and you can start mailing them. For website related things, we have, as I mentioned, we have already hired the SEO consultant. We are now working on the blog part. We have created the blogs and we are working on the article side to increase the website traffic and for increasing our ranking in the Google. Right? We are using the Google Ads right now, and we have also learned graphic software so that we can create images on our own without hiring the graphic consultant. So at least I believe you should be able to create some sort of basic images if anyone is, I mean, let's say if you're planning to conduct a webinar or seminar, at least your team should have basic knowledge on how to create the basic images, right? So we are doing all these things by ourselves in a particular graphic software we have learned. You can use Canva, Pixlr, Figma, etc. You can search on Google and master on some basic image creation software, right? We haven't started, as I mentioned, for Facebook and Instagram and YouTube because these are the video related content, and we haven't started with that practice till now, right? So that's the networking practices we are doing at our office. That's it from our side. And if I talk about our firm, just a second. Okay. If I talk about our firm, so basically we are into the audit and bookkeeping, CFO services, corporate tax and VAT consultancy, tax compliance, and corporate tax impact assessment services. And we are into the business setup services, not only in UAE, but in KSA, in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and all Middle East countries. And now we are also into the US, UK, and Singapore, right? So these are the services that we are providing from our side. Now, at the end, let's begin with the question and answer session so that anyone who's having the questions, he can ask the questions to us and we can move ahead with all the queries. Mr. Tarun has asked one of the questions related to, will you be joining Kabil, a professional trip? Tarun, I am not available in Dubai. Maybe I have a schedule for Singapore next week. So basically, my team will be there, of course. My brothers will also be there, but I might not be it might not be possible for me to be available there. Of course, the team will be there, and Kabil will also introduce our firm there. I mean, the members will be there from our side, from Talreja and Talreja. Kabil definitely will introduce you in that particular event. Apart from this, any other queries? I believe we don't have any further queries. If you have any queries, please post in the YouTube comment section so that we can answer your queries. If we don't have any queries, then we can straightforward wind up the session. And whoever wants to connect us on individual basis, then he can connect me on the contact number which is mentioned there. All right, guys. I believe. Okay. Madhvan has asked how much cost involved to open the office. Madhvanji, I had already mentioned there in the initial level that for opening the office, you need to take the license. License will ideally minimum cost you 10,000 AED. Then, if you're planning to open a physical office there, then if you plan to go with the business center, then minimum cost will be around 25,000 AED for the entire year. Then for residents, it will be around 25,000 AED, and for cost of living and traveling, it will be again 25,000 AED. So I roughly, if I say about, if you're, let's say if you're planning to physically set up there, then in that case, the cost will increase drastically. It will be somewhere around 1 lakh. But if you're, let's say if you're planning to open an office, if you're planning to open a company there virtually by taking up the license, but you're not physically planning to open the office there, then ideally it will be only 10,000 to 15,000 AD, which will be related to the visa and license cost. And that will be on yearly basis. You need to incur this cost on yearly basis if you're planning to open the office virtually and not physically for the time being. For Kabil tour, we are already packed and we have already closed the registrations. So the next trip will be announced shortly once this June tour is over. At that time, I will definitely share with you the second trip that will be happening in the coming time. But for now, the trip has, I mean, the bookings are already closed, and we have sufficient number of people coming there. So still, I will ask and confirm if it's still possible to add few members. I will ask the Kabul group if it's possible. Mr. Deep has asked one question related to the job training. Sorry, guys, we don't provide this uh, job training. Ideally, to be very honest, the things which I have discussed here in this particular session, even these things are not disclosed by any of the consultants in UAE. Of course, you need to understand it's a competitive market there, and the things which I have mentioned here. So these things ideally uh, it will increase the competition level there. But still, we are doing this because we wish that if we have got the opportunity from we have got the opportunity, Indian professionals should also get this facility. I can help you with the knowledge part, but from the practical side, I won't be able to help you in that case because there it will be a conflict of interest from our side as well. You need to understand in that case. Had it not been the conflict of interest, then I would have definitely loved to provide the training, physical training, practical training as well. But due to the conflict of interest, we can't provide. I can guide you on that knowledge part where wherever you will get stuck in any of the knowledge that you have shared today. You can ask me anything in that case. I will be help you. I will be able to help you in any of the cases. But from the practical side, it will not be possible. Guys, any other queries? Madhvan has asked one of the question. Some chartered accountants go UAE only for few months and do work. See, this is also one of the option available. It depends on you. I mean, it depends on your investment part. How they do it, they see traveling from India to UAE is not a big thing. It's hardly 2 hours away from India, and generally people try to travel there through by taking tourist visa as well, and they reside there for 2 months as well, 2 months, 3 months, if they have their relatives there. So they try to visit the market there and try to fetch the market, and they try to get the work from there on the basis of tourist visa as well. So this is how they do this practice. So you even if you have some of the relatives wherein you can get the support, then you can plan to go on the tourist visa and try to find out the work and visit the market there. There are many events happening day in day out in Dubai. So of course, if you will go there and try to physically meet people, you will definitely get some sort of work. There will be not uh, uh, this will not be a particular webinar session. It will be the physical seminar that will be happening in Noida. So if you're planning, if you are residing in Noida, you are free to. I mean, the ICA you can register with the ICA Institute. The dates are not fixed, but I'll announce soon. Probably it will be on 8th June. That's the thing. I haven't given the confirmation to the branch for the 8th June. They have come up to us for the 8th June. As soon as I will confirm, we will be having the registration link for the physical seminar, and then you can physically come there to attend it. Guys, any other queries? Okay, then I believe we have successfully completed this session. And still, if anyone has queries, they can reach out to me on my Indian number or on UAE number. Both numbers are available here. You can just check it out. I'll just put out the comment section so that you can easily click the photo. Let me turn off this QR code as well. Okay. So you can just click on this, you can just click the photo and you can come back to us anytime if you have any further queries. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for attending this event.